It's great to be back on the Perth Racing Preview, and we're now looking at the main event of the day, the $100,000 Group 3 Belmont Sprint over the 1,400 metres. And it brings together a terrific field, most of the form coming out of the Roma Cup as we have a look at the field. Top weight Arctic Park was in the Roma Cup. Is Amazing was, no questions, won the Roma Cup. Idyllic Prince ran fourth in that race. Beat the Storm is the young horse on the way up out of left field here, and we'll have a look at his last run, which was simply electrifying. Star Laser ran second in the Roma Cup. Adderdale resumes. Interesting runner. Change of stable here now with Lindsay Smith. Dr. John and Mercury Halo all coming out of that Roma Cup. Mr. Diagnosis was second last Saturday at Belmont Park behind McLurch, ripped out of the Roma Cup, and Who Did It also ran last Saturday at Belmont Park. And his two runs since the spell have been very, very good indeed. But the race we need to go back and have a look at, and we've got the tape rolled and stalled there, is the Roma Cup. Now have a look at No Questions, where she is arrowed. Got back into an awkward position there in those red and white and black checkers for Paul Harvey. We'll talk about his ride in just a minute, but let's point out a few horses around No Questions that you need to keep an eye on. The horse immediately in front of him in the white colours is Star Laser. Johnny Clayt has the ride. It'll hit the lead close to home and look home before No Questions ducks late. On their inside in those orange colours is Dr. John. First up, tracked the speed, ran out of gas. Arctic Park is on the outside, forward of No Questions to the outside in the blue, pink and yellow. Is Amazing is wider. Yellow colours, just a bit behind No Questions, and tracking Is Amazing in the blue and yellow colours is Idyllic Prince, who comes from behind Is Amazing to run fourth, while the mare, who was a heavy favourite in this race, runs sixth. Let's roll the tape and watch the finish of the Roma Cup.
Halo and River Mist is the tail ender down the side of the 700. It scuffs the filly in front by a little over a length now. The other 3-year-old Real Mac running second. Then came Local Legend sitting a little wide, a length and a half away behind him. Tracking him up is the stablemate Arctic Park from Star Laser. Dr. John well placed near the fence making the turn. Royal on to the outside, and they're followed further back by No Question. She had to change direction back inside the heels of Arctic Park, and Is Amazing called upon. And on the extreme outside, Idyllic Prince. It's scuffed still in front of Real Mac. Over on the outside, Star Laser, No Questions. Is Amazing and Idyllic Prince. Scuffs in front, Star Laser, ridden desperately. No Questions diving through. They hit it. No Questions, I think No Questions grabs Star Laser on the line in a thriller to the Roma Cup. It's close.
What a ride it was from Paul Harvey. He had to tack left, fine splits between runners, and No Questions. The Tsar mare accelerated beautifully and just poked her head out in front on the line to again rob Star Laser of this win that he is much in need of and much deserves. And the jockey who rides Star Laser is Jason Whiting. Let's find out what he thinks about Star Laser's chances in the Belmont Sprint.
Jason, back aboard Star Laser, just does not know how to run a bad race.
No, he isn't. He's such an honest galloper. He goes out and gives 110% all the time.
Trapped wide 2 starts ago. He fought on well last time out. Super effort, only nailed late.
Yeah, no, he's racing well, and you know he's going to give you everything he's got every time he goes out there. So he's probably been a bit unlucky not to have won one of these better races, but he should be right there.
Well, I mentioned earlier on the young horse on the way up here has Beat the Storm. He brought up the hat trick last week. He was a $1.90 favourite, got into all sorts of problems. He's back there in those Ross Price colours in the orange. He gets into trouble. Watch Pike almost come out of the saddle before he knuckles down and just wins in brilliant fashion.
Beyond dispute, Beat the Storm, the odds-on favourite, is coiled up, badly pocketed nearing the turn. Pike's trying to angle out off the fence, but as they bunch up, they're followed deeper out by Who Did It in front of Zoometric. Coppertito's back near the middle making the turn, then Cat in a Hat and Dead-Eye Dick straightening for home though. On the outside, Local Legend quickly gathered in Lord Lonsdale. All Pike, he nearly knuckled there on Beat the Storm as he pushed him through a gap, and he's coming quickly. Local Legend in front. Here comes Beat the Storm flying, and down the outside, Who Did It? Beat the Storm surged through on the inside to grab Local Legend, Coppertito and Who Did It. Remarkable ride by Pike to get him home the favourite. He scored Beat the Storm from Local Legend or Coppertito. Who Did It is close up. Cat in a Hat ran on. Then Beyond Dispute, Money Exchange.
Well, William Pike is elected to stay with Is Amazing. And this has meant that Paddy Carberry comes back off the interchange to partner Beat the Storm. Wes Cameron caught up with Paddy Carberry at the Belmont midweeks.
Pat picked up a very good ride in the Belmont Sprint, Beat the Storm. His form this campaign has been sensational.
Yeah, Rap to pick up the ride on him. His horse on the way up. He doesn't have a lot of weight, and he's drawn a reasonable barrier. And after winning three in a row, he'll be going to the races full of confidence.
Certainly, well, good victory last week.
Yeah, obviously wasn't on him, but it was a very good victory. He found a bit of trouble in the straight and still hit the line really well.
What about the lineup he's meeting in this Group 3 race? This, no doubt, his biggest test to date. As I said, good pickup rider. Are you confident he can play a part?
Well, he's obviously stepping up in grade, but he deserves a chance in this sort of race. But like I say, the horse is going into the race full of confidence. He's won quite convincingly these last couple of runs. So hopefully he can be a good show in the race.
You know his characteristics, barrier 5, a decent draw.
Yeah, he's should posse up sort of 5th or 6th, and hopefully enjoy a trouble-free run. I actually rode him early on before he raced in trials and that, so I know a little bit about him.
Mr Diagnosis has a role to play in the Belmont Sprint because I think he'll be the leader. He races in those famous Oakland Park stud colours, stablemate of Is Amazing, trained by Fred Kersley. And here, he was on the outside of McLurch in those yellow colours. They did all the chasing and he did well to run second behind this promising galloper.
Over on the outside, running fourth, Elsie the Eagle, and then the grey Silvermorn back on the inside from Lawbook, extricated 3 wide, going around the outside in front of Jinx King. Then Metal Power back near the insiders. Kaleido when they approach the corner. Canduff and Sir Griller well back, and Triple D Stone Motherless last. McLurch though dropped off Mr Diagnosis. Kicknally 2 in front, balancing up. 3 lengths away, Elsie the Eagle starting to make ground. Lawbook, Jinx King, here are the swoopers, and Silvermorn getting up near the inside. McLurch off his feet. Mr Diagnosis comes again though. Here's Elsie the Eagle sprouting wings, and Jinx King. McLurch isn't done with yet. He rallies strongly. He does this, McLurch. He fights back and has denied Mr Diagnosis. McLurch beat Mr Diagnosis. Canduff, Jinx King, Camera third.
Gee, it was hard working out selections on race number 7, the Belmont Sprint, but let's have a look at the way I've gone here. And I had ended up with number 5, Beat the Storm. Just love the way he's progressing through his classes, and just the way he was able to dispose of Local Legend, who'd run against these horses in the Roma Cup, suggests to me he's up to the class and he can beat these horses. So Beat the Storm should get the lovely run, 1 out, 1 back, trailing position. The way he can let off in the straight, he'll be hard to beat. 4 Idyllic Prince, look, if the back markers, or he can get a bit closer to him, somewhere in the run, he becomes a weight horse, dropping down in the weights, and I think he's going to give you a wonderful sight. And Star Laser, if any horse deserves to win a race, he certainly does. Again, he becomes a weight horse. He's got the right alley, and if Star Laser can just poke his head out in front, he'll get that richly deserved win that he's after. In making those selections on 5, 4 and 6, I've had to leave out Is Amazing. I don't want to do that. I've had to leave out No Questions. I don't want to do that either. But it's a 1, 2, 3 situation, and that's the way we'll go. 5, 4 and 6 in the main event of the day, the Belmont Sprint.